Hello, hello.
No, greetings. I'm pushing the wrong button.
Yep.
Forgot to move my button to my mouse.
Ah, okay. How are you doing today?
I'm tired. I stayed up all night.
Oh, I hear that.
Yesterday was one of my few days off, and I felt like sleeping in, and then I wasn't tired to go to bed, and so screwed up my
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah. That always happens. Hello,
Hello.
LC. How you doing?
Doing all right. How about you?
Doing okay. Doing okay. Well, we'll see if we have more folks join us today. Hopefully, Julian will be able to be back, and we'll see if John the player comes. I'm gonna have to tell Julian if both he and John show up consistently. I'm gonna have to tell Julian that I'm gonna start referring to his character as Hawkwood because I don't want to say John and have two players go yes.
So John is DM for Freeze.
Yeah. Then there was somebody who sent a message through Roll20 during the week, and I saw their message this morning because I was busy with my day job most of the week and didn't pop on to Roll20 to double check if there were any messages. But so I responded back to him today. Told him, "Yep, look, sorry, my fault that I didn't get back to you in time to make up a character for today." But told him a little bit about the game and said if he still wants to join, he should get back in touch and we'll make time during the week to create a character. But I'd rather build the game slowly and build it with people who are more or less consistent and able to show up every week instead of having a bunch of players that flake in and flake out over time. Okay, well, I have a minute after noon, so I'm going to turn off the background music. And we have a couple of players here, so welcome everybody to the History of D&D. We have Roy here, reprising the role of Devlin, and we have LC here reprising the role of Siren. Last time, if you'll recall, Devlin and Siren were waiting to see if they might be able to ambush a patrol along with their NPC allies Elmo and Zert. They were successful in that ambush. They took 4 of the bandits, but they had to fight some big nasty frogs first and deal with those guys. Then they fought some bandits. Devlin was able to persuade, we'll put it that way. Devlin was able to persuade one of the bandits they captured to go inside the keep with him and try to bring out the bandit leader, which they succeeded in doing. He brought 2 of his bodyguards out. There was another skirmish with them, and when they killed another of the bandits, because of the morale mechanic in this edition of D&D, the bandit leader and his bodyguards, they dropped their weapons and they gave up. And that was pretty much where we ended the session last week. So we will begin the session. Well, before we begin the session, did you all see the session recap I sent you that included the treasure, which there really wasn't a whole lot that these guys had with them, and also the loot and the experience that you guys gained from last session?
I saw it. I put the list of all the loot on my inventory sheet. I don't know if anybody wants any of it, or we just turn around and sell it to somebody in town or something.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Let me take a look and see in the Discord if I've done it for this game. I've done it for a couple of other games, and I have not yet. I've done what I'll need to do during the week. I'll create a party treasure text channel, and then that way. Oh no, wait, that's not what I did. In the other games, I created a handout. So let me do that. Handout called Party Treasure. And then in players journal, all players. Can be edited by all players. And then I'll just go back to the session log from last week, grab the loot.
I got it all. Well, I condensed it, made it a little bit easier to keep track of, because I put like a mace 1, hand axe 1, spear 2 or 3 or whatever it is. I put it like that. That way, you don't have to write entries every time and then scroll through the list to see what.
Okay. All right. So let me
This game
say that.
wants to crash.
Okay. You all should see that now in your journals, a party treasure handout. So if you want to, I'll just let you at your leisure paste that list in there, and then maybe at the end of the session, if you've had a chance to do it during the session, at the end of the session, we can go through and figure out if anybody wants anything in particular, or if we're going to mark it to sell it, and then we'll figure out what amount of gold that all adds up to when you go to sell it. So the one thing, of course, in this edition with having henchmen or hirelings, these guys are not hirelings, so you're not expected to split your treasure with them, but they are contributing to a significant amount to the adventure, so they will be taking some share of the experience. as we go. So until we get enough of a party that the NPCs can just simply send you guys out on missions, if there are NPCs that are traveling with you, they'll just get a share of the XP, depending on how many people are involved and how much they do. If they sit back for the most part and just point at things, then they won't be taking as much XP. But if they're, in the front line of battle, they'll probably take an equal share like they did this last week. So you have a bandit leader as your captive. You have 2 of his lackeys as your captives. You have 2 guys who are still knocked out on the path. And presumably those guys are tied up, because I think you said you did that last time after you got their armor off of them. So what would you like to do now that you have this bandit leader?
By the way, I updated the party treasure. I think it should be right.
Okay, cool. Thank you, sir.
Let's see. So we're waiting on. I mean, the caravan has gone to try to loot people, I guess, and so.
Yeah, the rest, most of the bandits have gone to loot people. The patrol said that there might be as many as 6 people inside, but all the rest of them were off on trying to loot the caravan, which, of course, you all know the caravan's not going to come because the village elder managed to convince them to wait in Dale for an extra day while you guys went and investigated the bandit threat. So far, that's all you know because you haven't really spoken to the bandit leader yet.
Well, let's see. I guess first things first. I'm not sure how good everybody is at finding hidden treasure and whatnot, but I think somebody should search those frogs, and I think we've already cleaned off the bodies.
Okay. LC, Siren, as a spellcaster, he would know that potentially there are some magical components you could take from a giant frog, things like some of the skin perhaps, or maybe some of the organs or the eyes or stuff. I don't know whether you want to deal with that now or whether you want to wait until you're done with everything here and then grab that stuff as you leave. It's the temperature here is if that stuff sits out for a couple hours, it's not going to really go bad. If you left it out for a full day, well, then of course you'd have to deal with scavengers getting at it and some of the initial decay, but they are more or less gigantic versions of natural creatures, so their innards and stuff will keep for about as long as the innards of a real dead frog, of the common garden variety.
Fair enough. I do think for right now we should just focus on the bandits and see what we're going to do with them. I'm no huntsman, so I don't think I'd know the first thing about gutting open a frog. But I'm sure I could ask Zert to help out later. But for now, let's just focus on the bandits.
Okay. So the bandit leader and his two bodyguards are standing there kind of with their hands up, their weapons are dropped. kind of looking at you, wondering what you all are going to do. Elmo and Zert are sort of looking at you, seeing they're kind of apparently willing to follow your lead.
I asked the bandit leader for any more of them in the.
Well, I just have 3 men left inside. They know to be looking if they're following orders and they see that I've surrendered, they may already have started to try to get away.
How
Maybe
many
go.
how many are ambushing the caravan right now?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I mean, yes, I would. I just asked.
Well, you may capture me, but if you waste all your time searching around this place, then my men who are running from inside right now may just meet up with those raiding the caravan and come back, and then we can have some fun with you after they capture you.
Well, it sounds like that you're pretty useless to us right now, then. Leaving you alive won't help us at all, so we might as well just kill you now.
Well, now, let's not be hasty. Perhaps we can come to some sort of accommodation.
Sure, I'm for a good laugh. Go ahead.
Well, you're the ones with the weapons. It's up to you to make the demands.
I mean, we're in the position of power here, and you've already been uncooperative so far.
And
He's kind of made some offhanded threats there, I think.
Yeah.
I'm thinking one or two of us go around the back to watch if they're trying to run out, and then somebody, the other, at least two of us stand up in front with him and have him order his underlings to throw down the weapons and come out. And then if they try to bail, then all it takes is a yell, and all of us can. What do you think about that?
and Elmo steps over and says, Siren, from what I've seen, you're the best one. You're the best one with. Oh no, actually, Devlin as well. He looks back and forth between the two of you. He says, the two of you seem pretty handy with those ranged weapons. And if there's someone trying to sneak out the back, one of you might be able to stand where we can see you and still try to either pick them off or lure them this way for another fight, if it comes to that. Otherwise, if we just want to see where they go, Zert could go and track them. And in any case, Siren, I see you are injured. Let me see if there's something I can do for that. So he's going to pull out his... he is going to pull out his healing kit. And he is going to come over, and he is going to try to make a healing check on you, Siren.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Well, looks like I died.
That's not good. That's not good. That's a critical failure.
So it's 1d4 damage, is it not?
1d3.
Okay.
And
Well, there's a 1 in 3 chance I survive.
Well, you got less hit points than me.
He's been hurt now. Yeah, he's been hurt. So he's currently sitting on 2 hit points.
I am super fragile. I've only got 5 max hit points.
So I try to. Well, I got 4. So I tried desperately when I see him fudging it up to say, "Hey, what about those healing potions?"
No, I think I have to take the damage first.
Yeah. So let's just see what happens. Again, this is going to be 1 or 2 is a 1. 3 or 4 is a 2. 5 or 6 is a 3. So we want low numbers. Low numbers. Everybody say DM roll low numbers. Oh, 2 points of damage.
Just enough.
Okay.
I don't know. How does this work in 1E? Am I dead?
I think it gives you -1, and I think you can go down to -10 before you're permanently.
There's,
if I remember right.
Yeah, in original D&D, there's an alternate set of rules that lets you have, it's not really death saves, but it lets you last a minimum of 1 round or as long as your constitution bonus. So let's take a look at Siren and see what his constitution bonus is.
It's a -1.
Okay, so you get automatically 1 round where you're kind of going unconscious, and as soon as you start to swoon a little bit, Elmo grabs one of the healing potions from you and just tips it into your mouth. And that's going to do 1d6 plus 1. So as you regain consciousness, he says, remind me later. I have another one I can give you. And let's see what that is. Oh, okay. All right. So you are at 5. So you are at full health.
That was a
mere flesh wound.
Yeah.
Just don't look down at the blood all over you.
So for right now, mark off that you've used 1 healing potion, but make a note that Elmo owes you 1 later on. So yeah, so you do that, and Devlin, when Elmo goes to do the healing, and you see Siren close his eyes, and it looks like his knees go a little weak. You see the bandit leader, he takes a look down at his weapon like he's gonna reach for it, but then even before he can decide what to do, Elmo has the healing potion in Siren's mouth, and Siren's eyes pop back open, and you see his wounds just heal up in front of your eyes. So then at that point, the bandit leader just sort of shakes his head and goes, damn it. So.
No, we got his arms tied behind his back, right?
I don't think so. Not yet, at least.
These three that are standing in front of you, you all hadn't had a chance to really do much of anything with them yet. We just ended the session at the point where you were going to start interrogating them.
Quick question, DM.
Yes.
Are these light crossbows or heavy crossbows?
The crossbows that you got from the bandits are light crossbows.
Okay.
It could be. Or do they have hand crossbows in this version? They don't do it.
Let's see.
Sorry. I was answering a question from a viewer on the stream. What was that again, Devlin, that you asked?
I said they don't have hand crossbows in this version. I don't think. It's just heavier.
You all haven't ever seen a hand crossbow. They may or may not exist, but you all haven't seen them.
Fair enough. I guess I'm going to follow Elmo's advice and... No. Where do you think would be the best spot for me to go and try and pick them off, Elmo?
And he and Zert both point at the... they both point over in this direction. I say probably going over here somewhere would be good. So to the right, which would be to the east on the map, depending on what your zoom view is.
I guess.
Well, we could send one to the.
So basically, going this way.
Yeah.
Could send one to the back rear corner, the left rear corner, and then another person to the right rear corner, and that way they both could see the sides as well as the rear, and then the other two stay here.
Yeah, I'll grab one of the light crossbows and then head on over to see if I can see any bandits.
Okay.
You want to take some bolts with it? We got some bolts.
Yes, I'll take some of the bolts as well. I'll take 25 of them, I guess.
All right. Let me. You can just keep that, and we still got two more.
All right. So you are heading over. You are heading over there, and let's see, where are you getting? Okay, Sarah, when you get about there, in fact, you do see somebody starting to sneak out through some rubble, and it looks like this person here is armed with, I think it's a bow this guy has, but let me just double check in my notes. Okay. This guy has no fiddle faddle. It's in the other. That is in the other document. So I have to go open that one. And, well, Unusual. This guy has. Establishment. Okay. Yeah, these guys have crossbows. So.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Well, Siren can see that this guy is coming out with a crossbow. So sees he has a crossbow slung over his shoulder, and he's got a short sword on his belt. Doesn't look like he has any weapons in his hands because he's kind of having to climb through this rubble pile to get out. So right now, and you can tell he's got a cloak on, and it doesn't look like there's a glint of metal armor. So he probably has leather or maybe padded armor, depending on, based on what you've seen from the other bandits. So what would you like to do?
I'll try firing a shot at him.
Okay.
Are you alerting anybody else to their present? To his present?
I'm going to say that Zert keeps an eye on Siren, and when he sees Siren raise his crossbow, he kind of makes a little hiss sound that draws Devlin's and Elmo's attention, and he just points over towards Siren so you can tell what's going on. So, Siren, I'm going to let you shoot. We're going to see what happens with that shot, and then we're going to see what happens with everybody else. Hits an AC 6. Okay. Well, this guy has actually an armor class that's a little bit better than AC 6. He kind of dances.
Wow. Better than 6.
Yeah, he dances out of the way. And
I'm gonna, if I can, I'm gonna yell out and say that was a warning shot. Back down, or you'll receive one straight in the chest.
And he looks at you, turns behind him, makes a motion for people to follow him, and then he just continues running. So he's just going to try to run. He splashes into the water here. He is human, and he sinks probably to about his chest as he gets into the water. So it takes him, it's kind of slow going to get there. So by the end of his turn, he gets over here. You then see another guy who comes out. He does not appear to have a crossbow. He, in fact, looks like he has just a short sword on one hip and a spear across his back. And he is almost immediately followed by a third guy who has a crossbow across his back and a dagger in his belt. So, what would you like to do?
We're gonna roll initiative now, or?
I think yes. I think everybody should roll initiative. The situation that we have over here is I'm going to say Elmo has grabbed the weapons away from the bandit leader and his 2 bodyguards, but has not had time to start tying them up. So They are unarmed, but they are not tied up. So they could try to, try to grab weapons back or try to grapple or do something like that with you guys, try to wrestle you or something of that nature to keep you from being able to do much of anything. And then it looks like Siren is just going to, at least for the moment, have an opportunity to keep shooting at these guys as they try to run away. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these 3 guys. I am going to give them turns. I am going to take this guy, this guy, this guy, and give them turns. Okay. Siren, I see you rolled an initiative. What is your uh,
My dex
Dexter?
score. My dex score is 14.
14. Okay. Let's see. I'll open Zert's sheet. Give him initiative. Combat. Okay. Oh, he gets a 7. Okay. 7.15.
Now, is this like the rest? Is a low roll is what you want on this?
Nope.
And no,
Just a 1d6. This edition initiative is a 1d6. And that's weird. I thought I had. Apparently I had not. So I need to give him an initiative, and that becomes 7.15. This bandit does not have a 7. Then I need to select Elmo. I need to roll his initiative. Combat initiative. And that's going to be 3.16. Okay. All right. So, Devlin, have you rolled your initiative yet? You click on your token.
yeah, I did. Did it not show up?
No, it's not showing up. It's still not showing up for whatever reason. That's weird.
Probably didn't hit my token. Well, do you want me to re-roll it or take what I got?
No, just tell me what you have.
I got a 4 and then I got a 2 dex bonus.
So it's a total of 6, and then what's your actual dexterity score? 16?
16.
Okay, so 6.16 is your... All right, so then these bandit guys, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 6 rolls for them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 1.10. We have 4.10. Come on, we have 3.10. We have 6.10. And we have 3.10. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I rolled too many times. All right, now bandit leader. So he's got 4.14. Okay. All right. So let's take a look. See who goes first. Well, of course, it's going to be most of the party will go first, which is good. So Zert, seeing what is going on with Siren, Zert is just going to move over here, and he is going to pull out his sword as he goes, and he says to the bandit leader, he says, "You make me sick doing extra work." And he's just going to attack the guy with a sword. You notice that he is attacking with the flat of his blade, so it looks like he's trying to knock the guy out. Well, he hits an AC 15, which is going to miss. And the bandit leader just sneers at him. Devlin, you are up. You can either deal with the guys right in front of you, or you can try to run over towards Siren. It's up to you.
He grabs the bandit leader by the chest, his clothes, and pulls him up close to him. And he says, "Well, this is going to hurt a little bit."
Okay.
And then he smacks him with the head with his blackjack.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Doesn't he have his hands tied behind his back now?
No, his hands are free. So if you pull him to you, he's more like over here. Wait, I need to do something. I need to go on to this other level to pull that guy out of the way. Whoops. And then I need to go pull him back there to you. All right. So you've got him over there. Siren.
All right, I'm going to take another shot at the bandit in the river.
Okay.
And that misses.
That misses. Okay.
We really need a fireball out.
Okay, so the bandit in front of Elmo, he doesn't have a weapon. And boy, that sword that Zert has looks kind of nice, and it doesn't look like Zert can use it that well. So he's going to go and he's going to try to make a wrestle check against Zert. So what that means is he goes to our list of skills, and he goes to the what is it called? The wrestling skill? Yeah, wrestling. Okay. So unarmed combat, he's just going to try to grapple this guy, grapple Elmo, and if he succeeds, next round he's going to try to get his weapon away from him. And that will be a armor class, or that will be a D20 roll. And because he has because he has a 1 rank in wrestling, he gets a -1 bonus on his skill check. Because again, the skills go backwards, just like the armor class does. So, that's pretty good. So yeah, this bandit just goes and kind of bear hugs Zert and manages to get his arms pinned and in such a way that he's got his hand on Zert's hand that's on the hilt of his sword, and you can tell he's starting to try to pry his fingers away from the hilt and get the sword away. So that's what you see him do. The bandit leader is up, and he looks at Devlin, and he says, "Oh, boy, you better learn to swing that thing better." And he is just going to haul off and make a unarmed attack against you. That unarmed attack is going to be simply a headbutt. So he's going to try to just haul off and hit you with his head. And if he hits your armor class, he'll deal basically stunning damage. That if it's enough, it'll knock you out, but it won't kill you. So let's see. Ooh, nat 20. So when we look at the rules for combat for a monster that is 2 hit dice, a nat 20 is going to hit like a -2 armor class. So is your armor class? Oh yeah, that hits you.
Yeah, my armor class is -20.
So unarmed, he can only do a D4 plus a strength bonus of damage. So we'll see what that does. Oh, 5 subdual damage, or 5. So how many hit points does Devlin have?
He had 4.
Okay, Devlin, you are unconscious. So that means you fall prone and you're out until somebody revives you. So
This is going poorly.
I just find it surprising that we decided to go try to surround them and everything, and we wouldn't have tied up their hands, taken the weapons away, and all that stuff.
Well, it was kind of a matter of time, and a matter of not really specifying exactly what you guys were doing as you got ready to question him. So, Siren, no wait, this is the next brigand. So the next brigand is one of these guys over here. Yeah, this guy, he is just going to use his action this round to run, which means he can get over here. And then it's Elmo's turn. Elmo looks at the situation. He figures the bandit leader is the biggest threat on the board. So he is going to take his battle axe. He's going to move over to the bandit leader. Take his battle axe and try to get that guy down. And, well, if you were conscious, Devlin, you would be able to see he is not using the flat of his battle axe. This is a killing blow if he lands it, or he intends it to be. Oh, he hits armor class 0. He does 9 points of damage. Oh. And what do you know? That's going to be enough to drop this guy. So he is, boom. He is down. And immediately the two bandits that are left, they decide, oh, okay, yeah, that's bad. Suddenly the fight is going against us, and the one guy just pushes himself away from Zert and puts his hand up. The other guy was looking at reaching for his sword, but he's not going to right now because he just saw his leader get cut down. This is a situation where they felt like maybe they had a choice. So yeah, this guy just simply backs off over here and leaves his weapon where it was. This guy is one of the other runners. Oh, he's the guy that was in the river. That's going to be another square of double movement. And then, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when he gets out of the water, pulls out a crossbow and he's got it kind of pointed back towards Siren, but he's not firing it. So he can really only take his combat movement this time. He can't take a full round of movement because he's trying to focus on potentially. It looks like basically he's just holding that up as a threat. Like, if you shoot at me, I'm going to shoot at you. It doesn't look like he is turning to stop and fire because he's still trying to get out of there. Brigand 2, same thing. So that's 1. Whoops. That's 1. Okay. So we're going to call that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He does not have any ranged weapons. So he's just going to keep going his full movement, which means he has 12 more squares of movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's off the map. He disappears into the woods. And then I guess we're back to Zert. So, Zert. Zert just reorients his sword, shoves it at the guy's throat. Doesn't cut his throat, but puts some pressure on there and says, "Hands behind your back now." And the guy does, puts his hands behind his back. And I guess really the only part of combat left, so we can we're going to get around to Siren before anybody else. Is Siren will get a chance to take a shot at one or two, or one or the other of those guys that are trying to run. Devlin, you feel a slap on your face, and you open your eyes to see Elmo. Your head is swimming, and there's your forehead just is. It feels like it's been smashed by a hammer. But then you look over and you see the bandit captain bleeding out with a big battle axe wound in his chest. And Elmo is just there. His eyes is like, no time to rest. Get up. And so you can take an action this round if you want to.
Do I have? How did he revive me?
He basically just slapped you. It's like you were hit by a sleep spell or something like that. He just slaps you. You have your full hit points. Mechanically, you're still at full hit points now. Flavor wise, you've got a raging headache for a while. That's going to last the rest of the day. Where that guy just cracked you in the skull with his head. So if you want to do something to secure these other two bandits, you can stand up and go do that now. If you want to try to get over to see if there's anything you can do to help Siren, it's going to take your entire action to try to move, and you won't get all the way there.
I want to see if I can save the bandit.
Okay. You don't have any skill points in healing, is that correct?
I think it is. Let me check.
So now healing, I'll let you use it untrained. The penalty for that is okay. I'm going to say because you're not skilled with it. I'm going to give you a penalty on your roll, but if you roll low enough, you still may be able to heal him.
Well, what if I just use a potion of cure light?
Oh, do that. You can now. Do you want to try to do that first, or do you want to try to tie him up before you put the potion in his mouth, or what do you want to do? I want to know what order you're doing things.
I want to just try to get him back to consciousness. I don't want him to die.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like you're just going to try to feed him the potion. So go ahead and you can roll 1d6 plus 1. And you might need to use a little dice roller tool from the toolbar, since for some reason your rolls aren't showing up.
I just can't find my icon.
Yeah, you're sitting there. You're right here next to Elmo is where your character is. While you're doing that, I'm going to examine the character here and see if there's... I can't tell any why your rolls aren't showing up.
That showed up, didn't it?
Nope. Did not show up.
I used a macro, so I didn't even click on the character sheet. It should have showed up.
Yeah, it's not showing up in the chat. What I would recommend is from that toolbar on the left, just click on the little D20 near the bottom of that toolbar and go ahead and pull up the dice roller and then set under the advanced roll, set it to 1d6 plus and then put a +1 and then roll
Did that show up?
That did.
Yeah, see, I made a macro. I made macros for each type of die.
Okay, apparently the
bottom.
macro, yeah, apparently those macros aren't working for whatever reason.
The character sheet, but clicking the dice roll on there wasn't showing up either for whatever reason.
Yeah. So I don't know why. So that's a flat D6. So just add 1, so he gets 6 hit points back. And he is no longer dead, but he is still bloodied. So we'll make him bloody, and we're gonna say he's prone. So, all right. Elmo kind of gives you a look and says, "I hope you know what you're doing." And so Zert is going to tie up this guy. So we're going to say, whoops. He's going to tie up this guy, so we're going to say he's tied up. And then he's going to move over towards this guy, but he can only tie up one guy per round. Devlin, you did that as your action. Siren, we're back to you.
Okay. I think I'm just going to make one last shot at the guy who brought his crossbow out.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Great damage, but unfortunately not a hit.
All right, then.
All right. So this guy is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's off the battlefield. And then get back around to the bandit leader. The bandit leader looks up at Devlin, sees the potion bottle in his hands, realizes that what you've done, and he says, all right. And he just puts his hands out with his wrists together so somebody can tie him up.
So Devlin ties him up.
Okay.
And then he takes his blackjack and breaks one of his arms with it. He says, "That's for the headbutt."
Okay, well, we'll do that on your turn. But yeah, okay, you can tie him up now. This other guy is, this other guy is going to run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and he's off the battlefield. All right. So those guys are gone for the moment. Elsie, you can see Siren can see no other movement from the side of the building over there. Those guys just ran off into the scrub and seem to have disappeared. This bandit looks at Zert, and Zert will then tie him up. And now, Devlin.
Of course, I want to ask him if he's right or left-handed first.
Hey. Well,
making my way back.
You
or would I have recalled which
give me an intelligence check. Just roll a d20 and let's compare that to your intelligence. And you want to roll under your intelligence. So just a flat d20. $10.
Did that show up? Yeah.
Yes, that showed up. Okay. So I don't know what happened, but now those are showing up. Good. So yes, you know that he was using. He had his sword in his right hand, so you know he's right-handed. You don't have to ask him that.
So yeah, he cracks him over the right arm.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack. And while there's not really a mechanic for it in first edition, I do like, there's things from each edition that I like, and so I like to homebrew them into the other editions. I like the advantage thing from 5th edition. So make 2 rolls with your blackjack, and we'll see whichever one. We'll see if one of them will hit. And so we'll take the best one. Ooh, okay. Okay, all right. So we'll take the first one. Deals 2 damage. You hit his arm and you hear a crack. And he lets out a howl of pain. So now we're going to say that he is... yeah, I'm just gonna use that to indicate that he's not able to attack either.
Devlin says, "Does that hurt?"
And he's like, "Bloody hell! Of course it hurts."
He says, "Good."
And he's like, what the hell do you guys want?
Well, your undivided attention would be a good start.
Well, you have that. And you have my men.
Is he the only one that we have captured?
No, you have these 2 guys right here. And then you have the 2 guys that you left on the path down here that are unconscious, where you knocked them out. You knocked them out in terms of game time, maybe 2 or 3 minutes ago, and you tied them up. They still seem to be out. So they'll probably be out for a turn, which is a unit of game time. That's 10 minutes. And then at the end of the turn, we'll see if they regain consciousness or if they stay out. So you have a few more minutes to do stuff before you have to worry about whether they come back to consciousness. And I'm just going to go ahead and, because we said that they were tied up last week, I'm just going to put that on them so I don't forget that even if they regain consciousness, they still don't have the ability to fight.
So, John, you want to ask these guys anything? Or you want to just kill them so we only have one to keep track of them?
LC is here, and Siren is the character.
Oh, Siren. I'm used to having
Yeah.
John around. But hey, Siren.
And at the moment, hearing nothing, Elmo says, "All right, you. We know you're connected with Boggle. We know you've been attacking the caravans. How many men do you have in total?" And he says, "Well, I've got 3 with me." And he looks over and he says, "You dealt with that patrol, so that's them. There's 3 more perhaps inside, perhaps gone if they followed my orders. And then we have about 9 that are there for the caravan. Because it's going to be a juicy caravan today. Lots of nice merchants with fat wallets, from what we've heard. It'll be a good haul."
So I'm thinking of question A and question A part 1 or something. I don't know. But anyway, it would be, do you think we could get to the caravan before your bandit buddies do?
And he spits on the ground and he says, "They left with the first patrol. They should have been in position over an hour or 2 ago. By noon, they'll be on their way back with the booty."
So we don't have to get to that spot first. We would just have to get to the caravan before it gets to that.
Okay, out of character, Devlin knows the caravan's not coming. Devlin knows the caravan stayed in the village for the day. But it sounds like the bandit leader doesn't know that. So if he's got people waiting for the caravan, they will be waiting for one of 2 things to happen. They will either be waiting until they realize that there's no caravan coming and they all come back to the compound, or if any of the bandit leader's men got away, they'll be waiting until somebody gets to them and says, "Hey, somebody's attacking the fortress or the stronghold. Let's go get them." So that's Devlin would know that's his window of time that he has to work with. So now the question for you, the player, what do you want to do with that knowledge that your character would have?
Well, I'm going to put it to the group, but I'm going to offer my suggestions for
Okay.
options. Would be we take these guys back into town, turn them in for whatever bounty we could, and let them know there's more coming, and see if anybody wants to come with us. I don't know if the town has a sheriff or any kind of anything like that might help us, or a posse, or whatever. But we could turn them in, and there'd be less people for us to keep an eye on during this whole time. Or we could just kill all but the leader, and then there would just be one leader to worry about. But I believe that he said that there's a few guys still in this building here. So maybe
No, they ran away.
Okay, so then the bandit leader smiles and says, "Oh, good. They followed orders. Well, then, that means that within some time, and you can tell he's being purposefully evasive with his answer or with his estimate. Within some time, my reinforcements will be coming."
Well, I certainly hope that it's soon because I'm not experienced with how long I can live while I'm hanging from a rope, but I would hope it's quick that they come, or else they won't be able to cut you down.
And he looks at you, and that clearly was not what he was expecting. Now, are you trying to use one of your skills there? I keep forgetting.
I mean,
keep thinking you
it
have.
would be intimidation, really, but he's more or less just trying to jab at him back for being a smartass.
Okay.
But I'm kind of leaning towards taking him back to town for further questioning, or the officials in town, possibly getting a bounty on these guys before we come out that have to
Okay.
guard these guys at the same time we're taking on other people when they come back.
Okay. Well, Elmo will say, "Well, yes, we've got the leader. He's going to be able to tell us more than anyone else. We might as well take the rest of this lot who's still alive along with us. We'll go back to the village. We'll talk to the sheriff, and we'll see maybe what he can get out of them, and we will go from there. But this is good work for today, but definitely it means there's more work to do here in the days to come. So likely the caravan will still be in danger whenever it does leave Dedale, whether that is tomorrow or the day after, unless we can get rid of the rest of these.
When we give them this information, I doubt that they'll be all too anxious to.
That may be true. But merchants, they have a schedule to keep, and sometimes they care more about getting their gold from their deliveries than they do about whether they make the trip completely safely.
We could ask them if they had any particulars that they wanted left on their tombstone too.
Okay. Well. All right.
The only other thing is, does anybody want to run around the castle and take a quick search? Because there is those few rooms in the back that we didn't see. I'm not so sure that there's not somebody still in the castle.
How far away are our horses right now?
You left your horses about 15 minutes away.
All right. I think, we should probably have enough time to scope the place out and get to our horses before the rest arrive. How far away is the road, do we know?
Well, this road here, the path that's here, if you go down it goes south for a little bit, but a couple of minutes away, it breaks off towards the west, and that will take you south and west back towards your horses. where they are. And then eventually you'll make your way back over towards the village.
I'm just curious how long or how far away the main road is. It's probably where the bandits are hiding, so they'll hightail it over here.
Yeah, now you guys came in stealthily, and you left the main road probably an hour and a half before you got here. But you were coming rather stealthily. Depending on what kind of game trails there are that these guys are used to using, and depending on how fast they can get there, it'll be, you figure it could be anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes if somebody was running to get from the moat house here to the main road. So then double that time, in other words, for those bandits that went to warn the ambushers to get back.
So 20 minutes to an hour, I think, is the...
Yeah, 20 minutes to an hour is basically what you have to play with.
Well, I guess we could take 5 minutes to investigate the cow and then hightail it to our horses, and we should be home free from there.
Okay.
So, who wants to go in there with me? And who wants to watch these prisoners?
Well, Elmo looks at you and says, Devlin, Siren, I'd really rather not, without more reinforcements, I'd really rather not take the time to dig around this place now. I think these prisoners, there's still more of them than there are of us. We should probably get them back to the village. And then perhaps we can get some of the militia to join us, even if we come out later this afternoon, and see if we can deal with the rest of the bandits. At that point in time, we can search the place.
Yeah, very well. Let's make our way back then.
Yeah, we got, 5 prisoners, I guess, if you include the...
Yep. Yep, you have these 2 guys here. You have the leader, who's all tied up. And then you have these guys over here. And I'm just going to put them in like a little cluster. Like here, so that they're all in a little pod now. All right. So, those guys will be your prisoners. You all will start to make your way back. You get to your horses with no problem. And between Elmo and Zert, they tie the prisoners in such a way that they all have to follow behind the horses. And so they will they'll come along with you in from that regard. Okay, where are we?
We can't drape them across the back, like tie their arms and legs, just have them lay on the horse.
Well, if you wanted to either release one or kill one, then you probably could go ahead and have
Did they have a
one
cart?
bandit.
Didn't they have a cart?
Not with them, not that you have seen. One of the things Zert had seen earlier is in an earlier scouting mission on a previous day. He had seen them load some stuff into a cart and one of the guys go off, but you haven't seen any evidence of a cart here. So it's possible that that cart doesn't belong to them or was one of the other people that deals with this Bargle person that you've heard them talk about.
I'm not for letting anybody go, or probably not letting anybody, not killing anybody either.
Okay.
Maybe we just pile them. We daisy chain all of them, and maybe
I'm just
Yeah.
worried about speed and not letting them catch up to us. But
well, we got like an hour to play with. He said, but maybe
Up
get
to
them
an
back.
hour, yeah. Depends on how quickly they go. And of course, as you are headed back closer to the village, you don't know how eager these bandits would be to maybe try to go all the way to the village. They might not. They might want to stay clear of that. But it's really hard to say.
all right, I guess let's just daisy chain them and head on out.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, we'll say that you get back to your horses. You get them all tied up.
That last link of rope that's going to the commander.
Yeah.
I'm tying that to his broken arm.
Okay.
So
Oh.
if they try to run, he's going to be in a lot of pain.
Okay. All right. He sort of glares at you for that, but
Make sure you keep your men in line, and there shouldn't be a problem.
and he growls something that might be an acknowledgement, and he glares at his men, very threatening glare. That like if they do anything that gets him more hurt, they're not going to enjoy when he gets to pay him back for that. So we'll go ahead and we'll say that that's a good point to stop and take our break. I have 25 after the hour. So let's go ahead and take 10 minutes and we'll resume at 35 after the hour. And we might be all the way back to Dedale by that point, the village, or we may not be. We'll just have to see as the adventure unfolds. All right, so I'm going to throw the music on for a few minutes. Take 10 minutes, grab a drink, bio break, whatever, and then we'll be back.
Sounds good.
Okay. Everybody back?
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. Well, let me see. I want to move this over to here. And I want to move this over to here. Okay. Now the map has changed, and what you can see is you can see that all of our characters are here. You do not see the horses, but the four of you, Zert in the lead, Devlin behind him, Siren behind him, and Elmo bringing up the rear. The four of you are on your horses. You have the bandit leader immediately tied behind the horse, so that all of the any lagging or anything by the others is going to put stress on that broken arm, between the horse pulling one direction and those guys trying to do something else. And they're tied up behind, okay, this guy I need to. They're still tied up, but these guys are no longer knocked out. Okay. All right. And this guy's no longer prone. Although he is still bloodied. Okay.
I want to walk right behind the bandit leader, or right beside him. One of the
Okay, you want to ride beside him? Okay, so you're on your horse right there. All right, sounds good. Siren will.
I'm his new best buddy.
Okay. Well, you all are heading back. Eventually, as the road curves around, you're heading back north towards the village of Dedale. And Zert has, of course, been scanning up ahead and everything. And you see where the trail comes up and splits a little bit, and you know that this branch that leads off this way. Oops, I need to go and recenter the view on the. Okay, so this branch that goes off this way is the one that's going to lead back to the village, and this is kind of a choked off old road that's not used much anymore. And Zert, he's kind of Siren. You can tell that he's kind of been getting a little bit more tense as you all have been riding along. So, and he's being very quiet.
Is it, man? Everything okay?
Says, I'm not sure. The animals are a little quieter than usual. And that can sometimes mean they sense a presence of people. Could be us, but I'm thinking we may not be alone out here. And
Usually horses get skittish when there are predators nearby.
And he says yes. And from the fact that the horses are not being skittish, makes me think it's probably something they're used to, like humans. And so as, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. So as the horses approach this fork in the road, you see two somewhat familiar figures emerge from behind this bush. And hey, Devlin, surprise, surprise. It's your gambling buddies or two of your gambling buddies from last night, Fernock and Wendell. They're sneaking around out here in the woods. And they are now both armed. And they're like, well, well. Imagine meeting you out here in the woods, away from the village. Well, I think you have a few of our friends tied up there. I think it's about time you let them go.
So I like pulling the
dismount.
rope. I pull on the captain's rope on top of his arm a little bit.
Ah!
I tell the captain, "Are you sure you want me to drag you up there to them? Is that what you want?"
And he's like, he calls out, he glares at you, and he calls out, he says, The ambush has been warned. They should be heading back to the moat house. They don't find us there, they'll be tracking us here. Reinforcements on the way. Don't do anything stupid. And so they say, "Oh, Captain, it looks like your arm is hurt there. Would you like us to repay these men for your ill treatment?" And he says, "We'll do that soon enough."
Devlin
now.
pulls on the rope to pull his arm up into the air, and he kind of looks at it and he goes, "Looks perfectly fine to me."
Yeah, I've had enough of this talk. I'm going to try to run them down with my horse.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, we are going to go ahead and set up another combat here. So now those guys that are there are not really in any condition to fight until or unless somebody manages to cut them free. So for right now, you don't need to worry about them too much, although you might want to keep an eye on them and see what happens. So this guy, yeah. Good. This guy, the one that called himself Fernock, has a short sword. Okay.
Wow.
And nice. Yeah, so he... Oh, wait. That's wrong. That's wrong. What is Fernock's bonus? Okay. So It's not him that has this. It's him that has this. All right, now Wendell is not nearly that. Yeah, he's not nearly that. But Wendell has a longbow. So Wendell pulls out his longbow, and he's got 3.10. All right. So Siren and then Devlin, we established yours is a 16. Okay. So then we have Zert. Add a turn for him. Elmo, add a turn. Whoops. Elmo, add a turn for him. And with Zert, we will get 2.01. No, 2.15. And then Elmo will get phooey. Come on. There we go. All right. So, time to put everything in order. And, oh, Fernock. He gets to go first. And he sees Siren getting ready to charge with his horse. And he runs up here to behind this rock. This rock doesn't give him complete cover, but if you want to hit him with your horse, you'd kind of have to make your horse leap over that rock. And he figures that might be more difficult than just running him down. So he's taking something of a defensive posture and also trying to stay close enough to the road that if you go after his buddy, he might try to get a swipe at you on the way by. So that's what you see, Siren. Elmo has his... Yeah, he's just a good old battle axe guy. He's nothing fancy. So he is going to look at you, Devlin, and he's going to say, well, it was a nice idea. And he takes the battle axe out, and he turns around and he swings it at the bandit leader, whose eyes start to get as big as sausages. But then you notice, Devlin, that as he does, he's aiming the back of the axe at the bandit leader. So he's going to try to clonk him in the head and knock him out, instead of trying to kill him. Because he realizes, yes, it'll be good for the council if they can get information out of this guy. And it's just all of this. This guy's just starting to be maybe more trouble than he's worth. So, but he hits an armor class 10, which will not quite cut it. This guy's armor class is not as good as normal because he's tied up, but it's still better than a 10. So he just kind of swears under his breath. Elmo does. And Siren, you are up.
All right. How fast does my horse move?
Your horse is going to be able to move 50 feet in a combat round. So yeah, you can get there and do something to Wendell if you want to try to do that.
Yes. I think I'm going to do the path I'm outlining. So I avoid Furnock and I run down Wendell.
Okay, all right. So you go ahead and move yourself up there, and let's take a look and see what the attack roll on that is going to be. These guys, these horses have I think they get a charge attack. They need to double check the rules for them. Okay, encyclopedia. All right. Okay. Combat. We're just going to take a look at unarmed combat. Okay. All right. So this is essentially on unarmed combat, unarmed strike. I'm not finding any rules at the moment for actual mounted charge attacks.
Right.
So I'm going to give you the benefit of being a size differential. So you are, considering you're on your horse, you are a size differential larger, which is going to give you, what is it? It's a plus. It's a +4. Yeah, +4 to your normal attack roll. So, whatever armor class you hit, you hit armor class 4 better than that. So we'll just say that.
All right.
So go ahead and make your attack roll, and this is going to be a stun with, yeah, special effect could be a stun depending on how much damage or depending on his saving throw. Okay.
All right. Oh my goodness. I think I hit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and with 8 damage. Okay, the 8 damage doesn't really matter, the stun, because you deal enough damage. That's actually kind of trample damage to. Well, how do you kill him? Let's just put it that way, because
I guess it's just my horse whacks into him and sends him flying a few feet into a nearby tree, and he just conks his head again.
Okay. All right. There's a crunch as your horse plows into his ribs. His weapons go flying. His body goes flying. There's another crack and crunch as he hits the trunk of the tree, and he just slides down. And that's the end of Mr. Wendell. Furnock has to do a morale check. And I'm going to say that since you just rode down his buddy, he's going to get a -2 on that morale check. So let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. He throws down his short sword, and then he kind of looks over at the captain. He says, "You know, Captain, I never really liked you that much anyway." And so he says, "I'd rather keep my life and not have it trampled out by your horse," as he turns to Siren, showing empty hands.
That sounds like a wise decision.
Okay. So, what would you like to do, Siren? Or Devlin? We'll go ahead and give you a turn. What would you like to do?
There's still shit. I enlarged it so much I can't see the names anymore.
So Furnock over here is
Furnock. So Furnock is still got his weapon to attack.
No, Furnock threw his weapon down and is showing empty hands to Siren. Bandit leader and the rest of your prisoners are still tied up.
I just say, guys, I think your bandit friends are feeling they don't want you to feel left out, so you want to get in.
And so Furnock is looking. He's not taking his eyes off of Siren because, as far as he knows, Siren is the more dangerous person with that horse. So he's going to kind of do whatever Siren tells him to do. Wendell, poor Wendell, he just bleeds. Zert is going to come up and he's going to whoops, no, not him. He's going to tie him up and he's going to drag him back over here. He leaves the short sword down on the ground. Siren, are you going to pick that up as you go by? LC, we're not hearing you if you're trying to say anything.
Oh, sorry. I think my headphones cut out for a second there. What was that you said?
That's all right. The Zert takes Furnock back to the group, but he leaves his short sword there laying on the ground. You've got Wendell's dead corpse there. You've got Furnock's short sword over here. Well, what do you want to do?
I guess I'll dismount and see what Wendell has on.
Okay. Wendell, come here. Where are you? Okay. Wendell has a long bow and 20 arrows. He's also got a dagger. It's a finely crafted dagger. Looks pretty nice. He's got. Let's see, what sort of armor does he have on? He's actually just got. He's actually just got a leather jerkin on. He doesn't have a full set of armor. Very lightly armored. Looks like he is used to more being the one that deals the damage than taking it, which he maybe should have rethought that. And in terms of the rest of his inventory, he's got he's rich. He's got 10 gold pieces on him.
Oh, yeah.
So now let me go to this party treasure and edit this, and I am going to say, okay, session 4. Wendell has leather jerkin. He has longbow, 20 arrows, nice looking dagger, pouch with 10 gold pieces. Okay. So, you guys have that. Then from Furnock, you get the okay, so from Furnock, we get a short sword. And at least that at the moment. Then are we going to go ahead and continue on back to the village without further delay?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Oh, whoops, sorry. So you guys head on back, and with a little bit more travel and no other incidents, you reach Dedale. Okay, now I have found this. And I'm going to go ahead and put, for the stream, I'm going to put I'm going to put this at 30%. Okay. So, basically, you find the village hall. You get over to this area. So I'll go ahead and ping it to recenter the map for those of you that may not be on it. Right here at the village hall, you find the sheriff, and they have a couple of. I'm gonna look again and see what the lawman's name is in this town. What's the name of the law in this place? Oh, that's right. Okay, so. Do. All right, the law in this place is. What did I give his name? I gave his name as. All right. You see the village elder, the head of the village council. His name is Roger, Roger, maybe, de Bolbeck. I'm going to go ahead and throw that into the Discord for you guys. And I will throw it onto the Roll20 as well. To the comments. And he is currently holding on to the sheriff's badge of office. And he says, "Oh, well, what do we have here? We have a bunch of. Looks like we've caught ourselves a few bandits out there in the woods." And indeed, I'm just going to grab this whole lot of people. I know it's going to duplicate some of the players, but we'll deal with that momentarily. And I'm going to put them here. Okay, so let's get rid of the extra. Let's get rid of the extra. Go ahead and, Saren, go ahead and move one of your guys out of the way, whichever one you're using. Okay. And then I'll get rid of that guy. Devlin, okay, you're there. All right. That should be good. Okay, they are all there. The village elder, Roger, says, "Well, where'd you find this lot? Over at the moat house?" And Elmo tells him the story of how you all found him. And he says, "Well, good. We've got a couple of cells to hold him in." And he whistles, and several members of the town militia come out, and they grab, not very gently, you can tell, they grab this whole group of people and herd them inside, and we will put them all on the GM layer because they are in there being processed. So the sheriff, the village elder, kind of one and the same in this town. Village elder comes out, and he yeah, we'll do this. We'll use this guy. He comes out and he talks to you guys, and he says, "Well, that's well done. But now, did you get all of them?" And Zert and Elmo say no. They tell him about the group that was waiting for the caravan and about how many people they think there are. there was the two from the inn last night that apparently were part of the that bandit group, were planted in the caravan, maybe as either accomplices or people that sound like they reported to the bandit leader. Furnock is one of those. The other guy's corpse is still out there in the woods, Wendell. And there's possibly as many as 12 that are out still in the area of the moat house, 9 that were waiting for the caravan, 3 that were sent to look for him. Any other details, Devlin or Saren, that you want to throw in there?
Nothing really.
Okay. Well, they say, the sheriff says, very good. What is your plan for going after the rest of them? Are you planning to head out again today, or did you want to go tomorrow? I can probably round up a few of the militia, depending on when you want to leave. And he looks at Devlin and Siren for that, because he pretty much knows that Elmo and Zert will go whenever. But
How
you
are you
guys are
feeling,
kind of running the
Devlin?
show.
I'm thinking that we probably should get back here quick before they know that we've taken the. So
Yeah,
if there are any others in town that would be able to come with it.
Yeah, I'm feeling fresh and ready to go for another round.
Okay. Well, in that case, we'll go ahead and we will set ourselves up for. I can go ahead and I can set up a something of a battle. Now that'll take me a couple of minutes. Roy.
What about the reward for turning these guys in? Do you?
Oh, yeah. The village elder says, "Why, yes, there is a bounty out. I believe the bounty was that we had talked about amongst ourselves was 25 gold for each bandit captured or proof of death, and then 50 gold if we could find the leader. So you've brought us the leader. That's 50 right there. You've brought us 4 of his, 5 of his lackeys. So that's another 125. So that's like 175 gold that they have. And Elmo and Zert kind of exchange a glance, and Elmo says, Elder, I don't mean to overstep my place as a member of the council, but the last meeting we had, we talked about there not being much gold, and we talked about potentially having somebody take charge of the moat house. And Roger says, yes, that's true. We do have a little more gold in the coffers because of some of the gold that the merchants have brought us today. We sold some of our stuff that we have been laying by for since the harvest to go down to the capital. So we have a little bit more gold that we can afford, but it's the standard. If you'll recall, it's the standard that we normally pay in flesh times for bandits. And Elmo agrees. He nods. He says, "Yes, okay. I just had thought that we didn't have the money in the budget for that this time around." He says, "Well, fortunately, we do, and I just hope that if this keeps the road open, we'll have some more commerce come through, and we'll be able to make even more money from the caravans." And Elmo says, "Well, that'll be good. At least not to have the bandits around." I said, "Yes." So, he says, "I can bring you some of the gold now, or if you want to wait until you finish the whole job, we can get all the gold that we need from the money changer, and settle up our account with you then." And he looks back at Devlin and Saren, kind of to figure out what you all want to do.
I'll take my cut after the job's done.
Well, I as well.
Okay, all right. So let me go back to the party treasure, and let's say gold owed to party, 50 GP for capture of bandit leader, 25 GP for capture / proof of death of each follower. Currently 5 captives. And then you just want to bring them proof of the death of the others that you killed. And then when you come back from the moat house, if the battle has seen any more bandits fall that you haven't been able to take them alive, then you can go ahead and deal with them then. So we will go ahead and take a couple of minutes for me to go back to the moat house and set up for a battle there. I'm going to bring these guys out here. I'm going to put them on the token layer. I am going to bring these guys put them over here on the token layer. Okay, so how many did I say? We had 9 and 12. Then I need to have this guy. He needs to be on the token layer. And then I need to have some townsfolk. Okay. And by townsfolk, I mean militia. So we'll do guard. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I like that. So we'll have these guards. All right. All right. So at the Battle of the Moat House, we will find ourselves with this guy. He's gone. And this guy, these two guys are gone. Okay. At the Battle of the Moat House, we are going to find ourselves with... Now, how many of these guys were there? There's copy, paste, paste, paste. Okay, and then these guys, we'll do paste. And paste. And paste. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Dump and dump. Okay. So we know there's no more than that. Okay. I'm going to move the tokens back over to the moat house. And I'm just going to leave everything on the token layer so that you guys can see what's going on. Now, all right, I will start with your party. So there's the 4 of you. And then you have with you these 10 guys who are members of the village militia. They're kind of backing you up. They have, we're just going to say 5 of them have swords and shields, and 5 of them have longbows. And they all are wearing either leather or chainmail, depending on whether they're whether they have any money or not. Then there's the 4 of you that are the hero group, if you will, that are bringing them with them. So you have a total of about 14 guys. When you get here, you can hear activity inside, and you see what looks to be a lookout at the edge of the drawbridge who is armed with a longbow, and he gives a signal, and you hear things go a little bit more quiet on the inside. And Elmo kind of tells you, okay, I think there's probably somebody behind that arrow slit. And you guys can see through the shadows beyond the doorway. You can see some figures moving around inside here and whatnot. So you have that as your game plan. Now, when it comes to the heroes, I'm going to give each of the heroes, so you two and Elmo and Zert, I'm going to give all of you individual turns, but then I'm just going to break up the bandits into groups and give each turn a single group, or each group a single turn, so that it keeps the combat from being insanely long. So as you get closer with your reinforcements, you notice that there are people there ready to defend the moat house. Devlin, Siren, what would you like to do?
I guess I'll just take a pot shot with my crossbow.
Okay, shoot first, ask questions later.
What kind of cover does that guy have that he's firing at?
This guy that's on the drawbridge, he really doesn't have any cover. He's kind of the guy that's there, ready to warn the others. And it looks like he's probably expecting that you all are going to make some demands, but he's got his bow with him, but he has been giving signals instead of shooting. So if you want to just shoot first and then give orders, that's fine too. We'll say that gives you the first shot, and then we'll do initiative after that.
Yeah, I already said I was going to shoot him. It seems like
Okay.
a bad idea, but I'm going to do it.
Okay, all right. Oh, AC 2 for 7 damage. Let me just double check what his actual hit points are. Okay, you fire an arrow, and it's going to be enough damage to kill him. So how does your arrow kill him?
Just one quick shot to the head. If he's got a mask like between the slits or something.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't have a helmet on. It's like he turns, gives signals, he turns back, and it's like he's going to grab for his weapon, and an arrow just sprouts out of his throat, and his arms fly back, and he falls down dead. And so then you hear some growling and voices from inside. You're not really sure what they have to say, but they need to make an initiative roll. Ooh, that's an 8. That's exactly what they need to succeed. So, yeah, you killed their buddy, and now they're kind of mad. So, everybody can go ahead and roll initiative. So, I am going to.
Nice.
Excellent. Turn. Oh, whoops. I'm going to get rid of the Get rid of the extra Siren. Okay. All right. Then we are going to go here. Going to add a turn for this guy. We are going to bandit melee. Bandit melee, and give bandit melee a turn. And then we're going to do bandit archer. And we're going to give bandit archer a turn. And then we're going to give guard melee a turn. And then we're going to give guard archer a turn as well. So, Devlin, that's a 6.16. Zert. Come on, Zert, where are you? Zert combat. Roll some initiative for me. Okay, that's 2.15. Zert's not rolling very well for initiative today. And then Elmo. I go to Elmo's character sheet. And Elmo, Elmo on the other hand is doing really good. Okay. Hey, Devlin. One of the voices that you hear inside there sounds really familiar. Sounds kind of like your buddy you were gambling with last night. Sounds like Spuganor. Two. So he may in fact be mixed up with all of this, or he might be a prisoner. You don't know.
So I'm going to yell out something whenever it's my turn.
Okay. So we'll do that. Oh. Melee bandits, 1.10. Archer bandits, 6.10. Melee guards. Oh. 6.11. And archer guards. 3.11. Okay. All right. Let's put everybody in order. Okay. Battle is joined. And the first thing that happens is Elmo gets to go. Elmo doesn't have a ranged weapon. and he turns to the melee guards, or he turns to all the guards, and he says, "Don't let them get away." To the melee guards, he points to the drawbridge, says, "Cover the exit here." To the archers, he says, "Go cover the side. There's a back way out." And he looks at the two of you, and he says, "I'll try to prevent any of them from leaving." And so he goes up here, and he readies an action in case anybody comes out. He's going to try to hit them if they try to come by him. Siren, you are up.
All right. Can I see this guy right here when I'm circling around?
You can see him. You're going to have to shoot through the half-open doors. So I'm going to say he has some cover. That'll give him a little bit of a bonus. I believe in this edition, the cover mechanic is he gets a +2 bonus to his armor class. So there's no penalty for you shooting, but it's basically you're shooting at a tougher target.
All right, I'll move up there, and I think since I'm in short range, I get a +1 to hit.
Yep, you sure do.
All right, so that'll be a -1 to whatever I roll.
Yep.
So 9.
Okay, so yes, it's AC 9. It goes in, it clears the door, and you hear some people say, "Oh, look out!" But it doesn't seem like anybody's been hit by that. You don't hear a howl of pain.
All right, I guess that'll be my turn.
Devlin, you are up.
All right. I gotta check some real.
Okay.
I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh, the gambler buddy?
Yeah.
Spugnor.
Right. So let's see. How far can I throw
How far can you throw what?
caltrops?
Not too far. If you want to cover an area, you probably have to be within about 10 feet. If you try to throw them much further, they're gonna kind of spread out.
I'm just trying to throw them all. I mean, I don't care if they scatter, but all around the doorway there. Or if they're pushing out the door, they're gonna be running through caltrops.
Okay. Well, then you can move up your movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like if you moved up here, do you have 30 feet or do you have 40 feet? I forget.
I think it's 30, 35. I thought for a human, right?
This edition, I believe. Let me just look at your character sheet so that we can figure this out. I believe for a normal human, you have 30 feet of movement, but I just want to be sure. No, I think it's due to your dex. You have 40 feet of movement. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can get all the way up to here if you wanted to move all the way up.
I mean, I'd rather not run all the way up there, and if all the caltrops don't fall in that area, that's fine. I'm just wanting them to have to run through some of them if they're trying to charge through the door. But I'm
Okay.
just doing that as I come up there and I'm yelling something out at them.
Okay. If you try to throw them 60 feet, which is where you're from, they're really not going to be effective. I'm going to say you have to be probably within 20 feet to get any use out of them. So that would mean if you're trying to put them there, that would mean you'd have to be probably about there to really.
All right,
really
well,
do
screw it.
it.
I ain't gonna bother with them then.
Okay.
I'm going to yell, hey, you guys, we come to join you guys in your group. We were told you were meeting here, and you killed 3 of my men for no reason whatsoever. And I'm kind of getting fed up with it. Now we've killed a few of your men as well, and I think you have we know one of your allies in there, at least one of them that I've worked with before.
And you hear a voice that drips with sarcasm. It's Spugnor's voice. He says, "Oh, come off of it. We know you're with those villagers. You'll have to kill us. You won't take us alive."
Now come on out with your hands up. We got an army out here, and we don't want to slaughter you for nothing. I thought I had a good connection and a friend in there. I don't want to make you. I don't want to waste a good investment.
And you don't hear anything in return. There's no response. And that's probably about as much as, with all that talking, that's probably about as much as you can do on your turn. So then it's the town guard. Whoops. The town guard melee. Their turn. So you have these 5 guys. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, they can all get in there. So they're going to run in there. They're going to take up positions around the door here to try to make sure that these guys don't get out. And then it's the turn for the bandit archers. So the bandit archers, these guys they're pretty much just going to attack the guys that just ran in. So we'll see what is there. Yeah. That's not going to hit anything. So the archers, clearly they didn't expect to have guys run in. So they are out of commission. The archer guards follow the suggestion of Elmo, and they kind of all run over into this area where they can sort of keep an eye on what's going on over here. so they can see if anybody tries to sneak out the side. And then Spugnor is up. Spugnor. Oh, Mr. Spugnor, what is your... Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He has... Oh, what's his... Oh, he doesn't have anything. Oh, yes, he does. He has something quite good. So he is going to... He is going to back up behind these guys. And he is going to twiddle his fingers towards the guards. And all 5 of these guards are going to have to make a save against spells. Because we have an enemy magic user. And their spells... Okay, so... Alright, so the spell is that he's trying to cast is Sleep. He's just going to try to knock all of those guys out of commission. Sleep. All right. In the list of spells, actually want to do saving throw, saving throw. All right, screw it. They will get their saves. And we have 5 saves incoming. 16. 9. 9. 13. 13. Okay. Well, this guy's fine. This guy, he's sleepy. This guy, he's sleepy. And these 2 guys are fine. So, he targeted that area, tried to get those guys, and he failed. So, that was his turn. And finally, Zert. Zert is just going to go ahead and run in. And on his next round, he will assess what needs to be done and try that. The melee bandits, well, they're going to move up and try to attack. So melee bandits get an attack roll. Seven. Gosh, that's not going to hit anything. Now, I'm going to say they can coup de grace one of the guys with a 7. So, one of the town guards is down. The rest of them are still alive. And we'll move on to... that's where you went. Back to Elmo. Elmo's not very happy. he can get about to there, and he's just going to shake this guy and shake off his effect. And that's about all he can do. Siren.
All
you like to
right,
do?
I'll move up 30 feet
Okay.
and then take another shot at a bandit.
Okay. It's AC 12. Okay, that's going to miss.
Super. All right, that's my turn.
Devlin. You're kind of all alone out there now. They're taking the battle to everybody inside.
He's picking some frog legs off one of those frogs to fry up. No, he's going to run up there,
Okay.
toss his caltrops in front of these melee fighters.
Okay. Let's see. What's your distance that you have there? Yeah, that's
You don't have to get all the way to the fighters as long as he's out and he's got them between our archers and their fighters. Or if they move up to melee them, they're in the middle of.
okay. The only problem with that is if you try to do that, they stand just tactically. Those caltrops stand just as much a chance of, you know, hurting Elmo, Zert, or your melee guys as they do the bandits inside.
Well, I mean, I'm throwing them. I'm trying to throw them in between our ranged guys and their melee guys.
Okay, now the range guys,
I don't see our archers moving forward, but I do see their melee guys moving.
Okay, yeah, I'm using one model for all of these, but these are the melee. These guys are the melee. They're not the archers. The archers went around the side of the moat house. And I picked this one because you can either call that a bow or you can call it a shield on his arm. So I figure it's a good stand-in for either one. But these are your melee guys. So they're going to be moving around trying to fight hand-to-hand with everyone inside. You don't want to do anything that's going to impede them from movement. Probably. You may not have anything else you can do unless you just hold an action in case somebody tries to run out. Or you could do a full movement and go inside and then figure out what you want to do on your next round.
Well, I can fire my crossbow at one of those guys.
Okay, yeah. You could do that too. So, yeah, go ahead and fire a crossbow. And you should get a +1 on your attack for short range. 6. Okay. You guys are both close enough that the open doors are no longer causing you a penalty. So yeah, you fire. Did you have a particular guy you were aiming at, or just any one of these three? Okay, that guy. You hit him, and you deal 3 points of damage. He is now bloodied. He lets out a yelp. So he didn't like that very much. But that's too bad. He's made some poor life choices. All right, melee guards. They're going to make an attack. Man, they're just not rolling very well. None of these guys. Bandit archers are going to shoot at the melee guards. Oh, and now they have Zert and Elmo. Well, let's see if they hit anything, first of all. 11. That's not going to be good enough to hit anybody. Town guards or the NPCs. Guard archers. Nobody appears to be coming out. So they are going to be enterprising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 50. They can go 120. So even with all that, they're going to be able to get in. So I'm just going to let you guys have a gander at the rest of this area in here. At least as far as the area that's not blocked by walls. The other sorts of things. Okay. All right. So, these guys, your allies, are now in here. And it is now Spugnor's turn. Spugnor has one spell. It did what it could, so he's now going to run. And as he runs, oh, guess what? His escape is cut off because those archers are there. All right. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to give up. All right. So he's out of the fight. I'll just remove him from the order. Okay. Melee.
All right, Spugnar, you owe me a set of dice back.
Melee bandits. They're going to make another attack. And yeah, they don't hit anything with that. Elmo. He's going to push his way in. And he's going to attack this guy here. Combat with his battle axe, of course. It's an AC 9. That'll miss. Good thing, too. 12 points of damage. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that. Siren, you're back up.
All right. I think I can finally get a melee, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I'll
you
just
can
move.
push through your allies with no problem.
I guess I'll take the spot of this dead guard here.
Okay. Let me go ahead and I'll get him out of the way. All right.
I'll take a swing at one of these bandit.
Okay. AC 13. No, unfortunately, that's not going to do it.
Whoa. All right. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Devlin, you going to hang out there and keep shooting?
Yeah, I mean he's too squishy to get in there in melee.
Yeah, okay. It's AC 9. Unfortunately, that's not quite going to do it. No move. Then the melee guards, they will attack. They get a d20 roll. Oh, 19. Okay, so they're going to do just an average of 1d4. So let's... So they deal 1 damage. Which is enough to kill that guy. So now he's down. And it's -1 to that guy. Oops. That guy. -1 to that guy. And -1 to that guy. Okay. So this guy's up here. This guy's over here. That guy's there. And that guy's there. Okay. So they are there. Bandit archers. They shoot. Oh, and now there's 4. They miss. Guard archers. These guys are all going to push in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. One guy takes Spugnor. The other 4 guys shoot at the guards. And they miss. Or the bandits, I should say, they shoot at. And Zert is up. Zert points up the stairs and says, "Defenders, you're outnumbered, you're surrounded. I suggest that you surrender." And that's going to cause another morale check, this time with a penalty. Oh, okay. They fail. The rest of them, they see their wizard has been captured. They heard that their leader got taken into town because, hey, their wizard told them that he saw their leader get captured, or he saw the fight with Wendell and Furnock. He hid while that fight was going on, watched it, saw how that turned out, came back to the moat house, told the rest of the guys, and they were trying to decide what to do when you all came back this afternoon. And so you have slain all of the or you've slain or captured all the bandits. So you now have a little bit more treasure coming your way.
Can I search the wizard for anything or like a spell book?
Oh, you sure can. You sure can. And in fact, the wizard has several items of interest. Okay. The first thing he has is he has a nice dagger. And he has a rather mundane looking staff. It's a sturdy staff, but there's nothing, really exciting about it. And then on his in his spell book, he has 3 spells.
Fortunately, I can't read them yet.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and in the party treasure, we'll say
Spell book with how many spells?
3 spells.
So it's a regular dagger.
Yes. And a regular staff. Okay. Save. All right. Oh, and I apparently that reward for capture slaying of bandits.
So you got the dagger, a staff, and the spell book. Was there another weapon or something?
Nope.
You said he had something that was really nice.
Yeah, that was his dagger. It's a nice looking dagger. Meaning that it looks like it might be worth something, but it's not. It's not anything, at least not until you can identify it. You have no idea whether it's magical or not.
So I'm going to start talking to Littlefinger or whatever his name is.
Okay. Before we do that, I do want to let everybody know we're at 3 o'clock. So I think that's kind of where we have been ending the session. And that's one reason why I truncated main reason why is because I didn't want to keep track of so many different initiatives. But another reason for truncating the battle and turning the groups of enemies or the enemies into little squadrons is that we can get through the rounds quicker. So this might be a good place to go ahead and wrap up for today with the successful securing of the moat house, at least in terms of the bandits that you found there. There's still areas that you haven't looked at yet, so you don't know what else may be there. But there's the bandits at least are under control.
Well, the bandits, from what Devlin gathers, the bandits are just general bandits, melee and long range.
Right.
Other than I don't know, Tweedledum there. I can't think of his name.
Yes, Bugnor.
And there's supposed to be a bandit leader, the
Which
big
you have-
boss, Bargle. So if I had to guess, I would be wondering if my friend there is Bargle.
Okay.
So I'm going to try not to forget to ask that next time.
Okay. Well, if you ask that right now, Elmo and Zert can tell you, as well as the other villagers who have been around for a while. They say, no, that's not Bargle. He's way too young to be Bargle. Doesn't look anything like him. So
I think I can still use that guy. I'll do some
okay,
fast talking and see if I can do something.
okay. Well, we'll pick up with that then next time.
All right.
Pick up with that on next Saturday. Now, as I mentioned last week, of course, getting towards the end of the month will be Thanksgiving, and don't know if either of you know what your Thanksgiving commitments or plans will be. But keep that in mind, and during the week, let me know in the Discord if you guys are not going to be available around the Thanksgiving time, because we can then go ahead and if there's not going to be people available, we can go ahead and take that week off. The next major time to look at will be coming into the holiday season, Christmas, New Year, that type of thing. See if people are going to be around or are going to have other family commitments at that point in time where we might want to skip a session. And so that will, we just want to work around people's other obligations that they have.
All right.
All right. Well, we did have somebody who was on the stream for most of the session. Love 505. Thank you for stopping in and watching today. I'll let anybody who follows the stream during the week know that we still have recruiting open. I honestly don't think that John is ever going to show up and play.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I'm probably
kind of
going
a loose cannon anyway, just coming in and saying, "Hey, can I play? Can I play?" Well, we're not playing right now.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to go ahead and if he doesn't have a really good reason for missing today, I'm probably just going to go ahead and kick him out of the game, both off the Discord server and off of the Roll20. There was, like I said, another fellow, I believe his name was Anthony, who sent a message to me through Roll20 during the week, which I saw this morning. I responded to his message, and of course, that wasn't enough time for him to be able to create a character or anything for the game. So we'll see if he's going to be able to. I believe at some point, what's his name? Our other guy that's normally here. Justin? That doesn't sound right, but it's something that starts with a J. He is in the military, I believe. And whether he's stateside or whether he's deployed, I don't know. So last week he had some sort of family emergency, and this week I don't know what may have kept him away. Hopefully he'll be able to join us more often than not. If not, we'll just backfill and try to build up a group of people who can be here every week.
Yeah, if we got 2 more, because I mean there'll be weeks that we're short somebody anyway.
Yeah, if we get 2 more people who are here most of the time, that will be good. We'll be starting to be good. So I'll keep the recruiting open, and hopefully we'll have people that will want to come by and play. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming out today and playing the game. I will get the updated treasure and loot count both in the session notes and, well, I'll just put them in the session notes and I'll let Devlin kind of organize them how he likes to see it in the party treasure. And then we'll figure out what everybody is keeping and what people are selling.
Okay, no.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, take care. Have a great week. Hope all goes well. And thank you again, Love 505, for stopping by today. Everyone who watches during the week, have a great week. And we will see you back for the History of D&D next Saturday at noon Eastern. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.